Guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, another day, another dollar. We're out here in the garage. Check out this truck I bought. So I bought this thing last week. I gave $1,100 for it. It's got 230,000 miles on it. 235 on it. I spent $700 on DOD delete, 100 on flash, spark plugs, oil, filter, all that stuff. I got around $2,000 in this thing. Look at this truck. Nikki says I should just keep it and retire the Jeep. I can just tell you that thing got 14.6 miles per gallon pulling this, but if I pull this, I'll put that there and put that there. I bet you this won't get what that gets pulling it. It's got the 6-speed trans. It's not bad. It was a branch manager's truck. Super solid truck. It has a couple little spots up here on top, like some little dings on top of the bed where somebody had some like heavy elbows or something like that you can see. I'm gonna buy some bed cover, and there's a little spot right. I'm gonna buy the little covers to put on top of it and sell it. Well, I got a guy that's interested in it now, and if he comes and buys it like it is, he buy it like it is. But I might put the bed covers on and sit down here at one of the local car lots. Look at this thing. The battery, I'm pretty sure the battery's bad. So I got to put a battery in it. This morning when I turned around and come outside, the battery was dead, so I had to jump it off. Got to clean the floor mats out and all in it, but like I said, it's not a bad truck at all. I'm going to go through and get off the ramp real quick. Pretty good deal. Putting a new battery in this thing, I want to show y'all something. You know, some parts houses are like, oh, their parts are better than other people's. So let's pull these covers off. You see this battery? So it looks, you see where this hoop is right here? All this. Look at this little thing right here. Look at this. Look. Bam. Bam. Look at the little hoop. Same Chinaman made this battery. Hit the Duralast on that one. Hit the Die Hard on this one. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, as always, another day, another couple of dollars. We in here in the garage working on this thing. It's Father's Day afternoon. I just woke up, took me a little nap, put me on a fresh white t-shirt. So I'm gonna go to the garage and do some work. So we're gonna go through and this thing right here, trying to find it. Right here it is. So this little piece right here, this is a reluctor wheel for front of a cam gear, for a VVT cam gear. My motor don't have a, it's not using the cam sensor right now. Ever since I went over to this style of fuel pump setup and all, it's just always run off batch fire, not sequential. So this right here, we're going to see if we can't pull the cover off. I tried a while back. I tried to go through and put one of these on the front of it. Well, I didn't have the spacing right. It wasn't far enough out. So I'm going to tear the front cover back off. I'm going to find this pesky oil leak that keeps on freaking spraying over on this tire. I'm going to figure out what's going on with that. But I'm going to go through and pull that front timing cover off. And I'm gonna take this thing right here, and we're gonna take it, and we're gonna put a, we're gonna see if we can't modify this to make it work for what I need. And that way we can put the car in sequential and see when we put it in sequential, see right now. So let me explain this for people that don't know, people that do know, they probably gonna tell me I'm saying it wrong or whatever. I don't care, you know. But in sequential, when you put it in sequential firing, basically, I can go into the fuel tech, or not me, Nigel can go into the fuel tech, and he can trim the fuel for each cylinder, the timing for each cylinder. Like we can focus on each cylinder. So most of the time when you tune on a car, like say old carbureted car or something like that, you always tune the worst cylinder. Basically, you find the cylinder that is the hottest on the spark plug, you make it safe, but you can't really do much with the other ones because, say, like on this motor, cylinder 6. Cylinder 6 on here is the worst cylinder, or the hottest cylinder. So you can only run so many degrees of timing, because you're going to hurt that before you can make the other cylinders happy. Cylinder 8 on this motor is the happiest, as far as like you can't even see a timing mark on it versus the other cylinders. So what this will allow us to do, this will allow us to keep cylinder 6 the same amount of timing in it, and then we can go over to cylinder 8 and we can throw 3 or 4 more degrees in it and make that cylinder happy. So we can actually make the engine perform like it should, like happier, make it each cylinder happy. It'll make the tune safer for one, but it'll also make the whole engine run smoother, because it'll be each cylinder will be exactly in its happy point. You know what I mean? It won't be this is on the verge of burning something, but these over here ain't even happy. Doing this, every cylinder we can actually start trimming the fuel and all, and we can make it happy. Because right now we got us a hot rod. It's happy. I'm happy. Nigel's happy. We're going to go through and see if we can get this thing ready. I might take it to the track Thursday. Sorry if I'm yawning. I'm a horrible YouTuber. I shouldn't. My etiquette. But hopefully we get to the track Thursday. I might let Caden make a super fast pass with the lights on. I might just let him, maybe, depending on what the weather looks like. I'm really thinking about just taking Caden to the track, and we'll turn the lights on. We'll show you what the car's running. You know what I mean? Don't bother me. Don't hurt my feelings at all. He's out on a solo pass, him driving, who cares? You know what I mean? We'll let him make a real big PB for what he's been, you know? So, might do that. Ride with us. Let me get the hood off this thing. I got to pull the fuel pump assembly off the front of it, the whole drive I have. And I got to pull the front timing cover off, get the little wheel out I need, and then I also need to get the belly pan off of it and go through and see if I can figure out where the oil's spraying out at. So y'all ride with me for a few minutes. All right, as you can tell, from the cover to the cam gear is roughly, boom. So that's our measurement, 1.5410. So now we can take our cam sensor out. We can measure the thickness of it to the depth to figure out how deep we got to set this. And then we can figure out how much spacing we need to get that cam sensor right. So that's roughly how much space we got right now. We got to get out of it. So I'm going to put something in here. I'm going to measure it. Well, I'm going to put something here from here to there so I can measure the distance I need, and we'll go from there. So looking at this from here to here, when I measure it, we're almost right on that. Basically, about even with how thick this metal is. So I had cut this off when I'd made that piece the other day. And really, I need to just make a spacer that'll go around the outside edge of this. It's this size that we can weld to that cover. So that's what I'll do. I'll go through and I'll go to Nigel, give me a piece of round piece of pipe. And I'll build me a spacer this thick that we can weld to this. And then we can turn around and put it on this front cover. Or I might just order the right one that from, so we welded that up on there. Really, it needs to be out here like this. I don't know. I might figure something out and use that. Might use this deal, or I might just turn around and order the piece offline and stop being a tight ass. So let me tell you about the lick I just hit. So that truck, that nice truck, I ended up buying that truck at Nikki's work for $1,100. It was a branch manager's truck. The DOD lifter had failed. Ended up, they told me $1,100, 235,000 miles on it, 236. Super nice truck. One owner, the company bought it with 80 miles on it. It's been serviced everywhere here in Lincoln. I mean, it's a nice truck. They've done everything at the dealership here in Lincoln on it. So, I buy the truck, I do a DOD delete on it. I ended up having about $2,300 to $2,400 in the truck completely, with me buying the parts and doing the labor for free, you know. So I get this thing done, and I post online. I was like, just my quick flip. So I had probably 4 or 5 different people hit me up about the truck. Some of them was like, hey, is it 2-wheel drive? It's 4-wheel drive. They was wanting a 4-wheel drive truck, or they'd have bought it. I had a friend of mine hit me up and was just like, a dude I know. He was like, hey man, I got a friend that needs it, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Well, the first person I had told about it anything is a guy named Paul. Paul's a customer of mine. He always comes to the shop. I'm always doing work for him. I had told him before anybody. Paul buys and sells and flips stuff. So, ended up, I had talked to this other guy, and he was like, hey, he was like, my friend needs it, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. I told him $9 grand. They come back the next day, said they give $8,000 for it. I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let a little bit of money beat it up, that's fine. I get back to my shop, and as soon as I get to my shop, Paul comes in a few minutes, he's like, you got your truck done? I said, yeah. He was like, well, I'd like to test drive. I said, well, I got a guy wanting to buy it. He said, well, I'd like to drive it. So I was like, all right. So he comes by, he drives it. He's like, I want it. I'll give you $85 for it. Take it out the door, blah, blah. Put me a new alternator, because the alternator while we were test driving, the light blinked on, blinked off. So I done put a new battery in it. So he was like, I'll go through and I said, I'll put a new alternator on it, all this. So we get it all said and done. Come up next morning. I done told the other people it was sold. Come up next morning. He turns around. Don't see him. That was Thursday. Taking my car to dyno, get it Nigel's, went on the dyno. My daddy called and said, hey, Paul backed out on you. He said that a deal fell through with another guy and he couldn't get the money. I said, well, it is what it is. Well, I had done talked to Jake, a friend of mine here in Lincoln, Jake's Motorsport. So Jake said, I'll list it for like $12,800 on my lot. That truck will bring good money. I promise you'll bring good money. So that was, I took it to Jake Friday. I had Damien vacuum out Thursday. Took Jake Friday. Here it is Tuesday. Sold. $12,000 out the door. I made $11,143 is my part after all the dealer fees. So I made a pretty good lick. I needed it too right now. I guess the Lord, with Paul falling through and all that, I guess this kind of the Lord blessing me, trying to make me wait anyway. I would have called back to other people and told them I'd have took 8, but I knew if I called them back and said, hey man, this dude backed out, then the next thing you know, they'd be trying to hoodoo me on down on some more money. And I was just like, man, I just send up here to Jake's and sell it. So said I needed that extra money, and it worked out that I got that extra bit of money. So y'all ride with me. Appreciate y'all. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you one later. Thank you.